Okay, it's Christina Merkley here, and I have LB joining me, and it's one of the free recorded sessions. LB has been here for some of the process groups and is connected in with my work in multiple ways, so it's wonderful to have you come in this particular container. Just a little preamble there. You've been through some really significant things in 2020, and we did the inquiry process in the last group, and we're able to identify some things that I think were your next steps. Consciousness really informed you, and there were some bright spots there, but also was just feeling the need to extend out a hand and offer to say, hey, if you want to come for some of these, some more one-to-one attention, I'd be happy to do that. So that's how we found our way to this container. So anything that you want to say context-wise, maybe it's off of the same thing we worked on the weekend, or you might be, my favorite question as a coach is, who are you today, right? Like, what's up at this moment? Because we can shift and change and things unfold. So I'm curious who you are now and what seems most present at this point in time. And then from that, I'll figure out if there's a process to do or something a tool to use. Whatever you say will kind of inform me, and we'll find our way.
Okay, great. I have kind of a sense of two things right now that I'm feeling. One is really, really close to my body, and it's almost like a solid sense of this feeling that I'm ready, Christina, to really show up for myself and my life in a way that I just feel like I have not in a long time.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Yes, please.
And in some ways, it's just this, I keep tuning into the people that really inspire me and just saying, whew, I'm so far from that right now. And that's where I'm heading. So just like that is just getting really strong in me. Mm-hmm. And I'm really grateful for that. Mm-hmm. And then there's this part behind it, and it's, it maybe is ancestors to like 7 back or something, that's just really scared right now. Mm-hmm. Because there's something big is going on with the fact that I was carjacked, and the fact that I'm contesting the way the courts have handled this, or have the possibility of contesting it, or maybe I don't have the possibility. So it's just this big mess, and it's like so much easier to like pretend it's not even there right now. And that's what I've had to do. It's just like preserving my sanity. It's just like, it's not there. It's okay. It's like when you cut yourself off from your favorite chocolate bar in the fridge. It's like, I don't see it. It's not there. And so I just kind of feel like that's what I'm doing. And I don't know how to get closer to that. I have somebody who's willing to work on it, an attorney who's willing to step forth and do a little bit of asking questions of the DA for me. Mm-hmm. Nice. And so I put that out as a possibility. Inside my gut, I immediately, when I say that, I can just feel like I know nothing's going to change. I know this is going to be hell. And so there's a really old, like, I'm going to get screwed kind of voice. So it's just like the contrast between those two is huge for me right now. And my whole being wants to work on the part that I'm moving into in my life and let go of that. But I feel so incapable of letting go right now. And it's just like, it's just almost crazy, like that I can't let it go. It feels like I feel crazy.
Okay, thanks. So that tells me, yes, there's still obviously an unfoldment. Just FYI for people listening to the recording, I'll put the links underneath this one of previous work we've done. This is like a to be continued, and this will be like number 3, right? Because we did one. I want to say it was several months back now. Has it been that long? And then we did one last weekend. So yeah. And then this will be the 3rd one. Okay, excellent. So it's still there. It's continuing to unfold. You know, what I hear the most that I'm intrigued by at this point in time is what you said, what you opened up with, which is, you know, I'm really wanting to show up big for myself. I'm seeing people who I'm calibrating off of, and my belief is, as I interpret them, that they're there, and it's like, gimme, right? There's a longing, like I want some of that. And then as you're aware, there's another part, in fact, you actually said the word, you know, there's another part, it might be ancestral, right? So that's another aspect of self, is just heritage and history at the ancestral level. That's coming up and kind of interfering or complicating that. So that really intrigues me at this point in time. And also I got a flash on a tool, and you and I have done this tool quite a few times. So, and that's great because there's always different angles to get at. And can you guess what tool I might be thinking of?
Orphan rescue.
No, but that'd be a good one too. It might show up in this. I'm thinking inner alignment.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And oh, I just got goosebumps as
I can see the columns. Yeah.
So, and I haven't demoed that. It hasn't shown up a lot here because I don't think I've included that in the free tools that I'm given for support. So anyway, that's kind of a bit of a novelty to do that. So that's going to be my suggestion. Let's start there and see what happens. If it's not the right approach, your consciousness will show us pretty clear, you know, quick, and we'll just go with where it is pointing us. But that's what my intuition says at this point in time is let's go personify this and have some fun and see what happens, because you've had very powerful experiences before when you've done that. Yeah. Okay, so with that, I'm going to screen share and bring up the template. Okay, and insert. Go to my maps, go find my inner alignment in here somewhere. There it is. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it that size. Add a couple layers. Get this out of the way. Okay, let's get this goal defined first, because that's where we always start. I'll just do a quick refresher for you and others watching along here. So you've got a goal, and we're going to plunk that into the circle. And the goal, and we'll language it here, but it's something along the showing up for myself, right? Like really up-leveling and stepping into this new way of actualizing yourself, and strength. You were saying being really strong with that. So that's in the goal there. As you know, I'm bringing this one up because there's a conflict. There's parts of you that are hell yeah, and there's other parts that are hell no for whatever reason. And I play very loosely, as you know, with this archetype of angel devil. Some people, you're okay with it, I know, because we've done it multiple times, but you know, some people will chafe at that. It's just, you know, we can call them other things too, but that's kind of a quick shorthand. You've got some aspect of you and your energy that's saying yes to the goal of showing up more fully for myself. And then you've got one or something others going on that are actually not positive. They're wanting to stop it or thwart it or uncomfortable, whatever it might be. So hence the devil. As you know, the devil is never really the devil. The devil is normally some sort of coping mechanism or some sort of safety valve, right? Protection. It's usually outdated. So usually this business about not showing up for yourself, there's a protection, that keeping smaller or staying down or not, or being invisible. That's some sort of smart protection, right? Or smart way of coping with something earlier in your life or some other aspect of your being. So we're gonna meet this so-called devil and talk to them about this goal and see what the heck is going on, and extract out of the devil. It will have some natural abilities, and we will figure out what those skills and abilities are. And we may even figure out a bit about where its outdated purpose, like where did it first get grokked in you? And, you know, what was it trying to do? right? It might be this protection stuff or something more nuanced, but we'll find out potentially. And then it's a whole mediation process, and you're going to actually embody that part. And that can be interesting in and of itself, to get a lot more information, to really feel it from the inside and have it speak. And it's a mediation, and we can't force it into anything. That which we resist persists. So, and yes, that's a great idea for a limited point in time, to ignore something and kind of like, oh yeah, I don't see the chocolate bar in the fridge. But at some point, the chocolate bar is there. So this is a way of dialoguing and with the chocolate bar, so to speak, and getting to a deeper level instead of just ignoring it or resisting it, hating it even, right? Because that's like people, anybody, that's not a great way to go about it. And so like we need more and more in the world at large, the ability to look at other sides and points of view, even if they're diametrically opposed, right? To come at it with curiosity and interest, as opposed to judgment or hate or fear, right? To just kind of suspend that as much as possible, to get curious about what is going on at that other side. And when we do that, potentially there might be the opportunity of updating this part of you and coming up with a new role and purpose. We play with names here, as you know, so the energy will have a certain name. It gives us a way of accessing it. And if there is a mediation and there is a good faith desire here for some shifts to happen, then that energy may agree to use its abilities in new ways, which might require a new name change. So, and the names are always fun. It's kind of creative, and I've certainly enjoyed the names that have appeared with other stuff that we've done with you. So anyway, that's a refresher for you and for everybody on this tool. That's kind of the landscape, if you will. So with all that blah, blah, let's just put that left brain explanation away and just shake that off. And you define for me, you know, you've got this, hey, I want to show up for myself, you know, strong and much more than I ever have done previously. Sum that up, kind of nuggetize that, put that into a phrase for me that I can plunk into the goal circle.
Okay. I'm going to tweak it a little bit. It's not just showing up for myself. It's just showing up in the world like as the being that I am, and that right now I'm not accessing. So it's that whole being like that, and how my life, how I use my life, and how I respond to the world. It's just like, it feels like everything's just been off in all the levels. So I made it more complicated, but I feel like it's not just showing up for me. It's showing up as like now as this being that I have the potential and am, that have not been.
Yeah. So I did my best to track that. So I've got show up in the world as the being I am, whole, and you know, in response, all levels.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, so that's the goal. And the angel side is, yes, please, yuppie, yeah, that's what I'm rooting for. Here's mission and purpose here, right? And then we got the other side that for whatever reasons, and we're going to get curious, we may find out these reasons, but it's got a different feel. As soon as this thing gets launched up, hey, I want to show up in the world as the being I am, whole, all levels, yes, please. It says something else. So what are its responses? If you pass a mic to it, it might be, again, let's play the shoulder or the side of the body thing. There's going to be one side. It doesn't have to calibrate with how it's on the map. Just feel into your own somatic. Which side is the angel? Which side is the so-called devil? And pass the mic to the devil side and let it speak. You're going to have to interpret for a while, and then I may get you to embody it here soon enough.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've had a lot of time and opportunities to show up that way, and you obviously haven't taken them.
Okay, so you're going to body right away. Yay, we're off and running. So you've had a lot of opportunities already and you haven't done it.
Mm-hmm. You've had great intentions and you haven't realized them.
Okay, good. So you don't realize intentions.
Mm-hmm.
Good. What else?
Something about try as you may, you're way too jaggled or dysregulated to be able to stay on track with it. No matter what you do, managing yourself is more than you can do.
Okay, sorry. I got distracted by a tech thing. So help me sum that up.
Yeah. Regulating yourself requires more energy than you have to put into anything else.
Okay, so you don't have the energy to regulate yourself because there's just so much else going on, I guess. Okay. What else you got in there, so-called devil? What else is going on that your interpretation or perspective on LB and this goal of hers?
Talking the talk is easy, but walking the talk has never been your strong fort.
Okay, good. So walk the talk is not your strength. Your strong fort. Is that fort, F-O-R-T?
F-O-R-T-E, I think, forte.
Ah, forte, yes. Okay, good, yep. Walk the talk is not, let me get that, your forte. Good. So what does that mean your forte is? If it's not walking the talk, what is it?
Wanting, imagining, dreaming,
Rather than being,
lots of ideas.
getting, having.
Yeah.
It's all kind of up in the head or the imagination and
Yeah.
not really actualized and grounded and doing the
Yeah.
stuff to make it happen. Yeah.
Yep. Well said.
Okay. Okay, very good. Let's see if it's got anything else. This is good. And if it was to give one big kind of whopper overarching rant, what would that be? I know you don't think it's a rant part, but what's give me the overarching summation of your point of view. What is it about LB and this particular goal?
I mean, she's had every opportunity in her life to do this, and she's not chosen it consistently, and
You don't
is sitting in the same place. Yeah, she just isn't. She's like in a rut with her spiritual I don't know, her spiritual existence. It's almost like I've been reaching out to people like who have an unbelievable faith just out of the blue and just like longing for that, and I just don't even feel like my heart anymore. So the rant would be like, you can't even feel your own heart right now, and you want to be a heart-based person.
Okay. So you don't choose consistently because of lack of spirituality and access to the heart.
And it's not just spirituality, it's just like a true spiritual connection.
Okay, let me reframe that. Good. Lack of a true spiritual connection and access to a heart. Good.
And like you can't force a true spiritual connection. It's there or it's not.
Well, it's authentic or congruent or not. Yeah. Or though I'll tell you, it does ebb and flow. Okay. Yeah. Or can till it eventually lands and realizes because of the lack of true spiritual connection and access to your heart. Okay.
There's one more that she just kind of burst down.
Yeah.
It's just like you're a moving target. Like how could you ever access your heart in this state of peace if you're constantly in motion? And
Good. I'm gonna draw the little target with some feet on it. running away. So it's dodging. It can't hit it because you're moving. Okay, very good. Good, it's getting clear. It's not great it exists, but it's very clear about what's going on and from its point of view.
there's something under the goal that I kind of thought of too. Is just a kind of a simple idea. You could just write this off to the side or not. There's a saying, God help me be the person my dog thinks I am. And it's kind of like that. It's just like I just want to be that person that really deep down, like my dog knows that there's just such goodness in here, and my choices are based on just love.
Well, now you just got a doggy too. How perfect.
You know.
The tail in here. Yeah, so God help me to be the person that my dog thinks I am. Yay. Iris, to be renamed.
She's renamed, by the way. It's Thule, like Thule Reeds, Thule Boat, Thule for elk, Thule Fog, Tule.
Yay!
Yeah.
Oh, really cool. Okay, very good. Now, ask, this can be the actual part may have a name for itself, or as you're listening to its reactions, you may have a name that you would call it. Just see what wants to unfold here that sums up the nature of this aspect of yourself.
I just kind of come up with what a mess.
Aw, so the mess.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one's called the mess. Well, it's actually judging as a mess. It's not a mess, right? But it's judging you. It's calling you the mess. So what is like the mess spotter or the somebody who stands back and judges or calls somebody a mess? What are they? Ask it. Ask it. Hey, we're talking about you like you're not here, and we're trying to figure out your name. What's your name? Give it at the mic on the side of the body, wherever it is.
I'm just kind of they're not very nice. It's kind of like kick ass or get your crap together kind of coach or referee or
I'm going to go with the very first thing you said. Hello, kick-ass. Thank you for that. Yeah, it gives us a way to reference you. Thank you. So the kick-ass. Okay, so inhabit you.
Okay.
So shift your consciousness over and become you as opposed to kick-ass. And that's very good to have the name, because I can say that and you can shift on over and inhabit that. So hey, that was interesting. So we got all this out in terms of the reactions, right? So there's a lot of opportunities already and you haven't done it. And it's saying you don't realize intentions. And good luck regulating yourself, because you don't have the energy and there's so much stuff going on right now that you can't. And you're not walking your talk, because that's not your forte. So you're more into wanting things and imagining and dreaming and staying in the idea place as opposed to actualizing. And then it goes, you don't choose consistently. And because of the lack of true spiritual connection and access to your heart, you are a moving target. And that's the kick-ass's interpretation of you. And you feel it as being called a mess.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't necessarily, it didn't say
great
those words.
summation.
Yeah. So let me get there. So as you kind of experience that part, the kick-ass, this might be a stretch because you're feeling a little beat up and considered the mess. But as you if you can analyze it, even though it's rough, what is it good at? What is its abilities and skills? We'll ask it soon enough, but I'm curious what you're able to access in terms of this presence that has been around you and been interpreting you as the mass. What is it doing? What is its skills and abilities?
Well, it's a fantastic micromanager.
Okay, good.
With helicopter skills.
So it's a micromanager.
And it's very good at doing comparative analysis.
Ooh, yes.
Really good at finding phenomenal people and projects and ideas, like just top of the top. So it has a sharp mind and intelligent.
Yes. Okay, good. Sharp mind and intelligence. Good.
And the way it uses that with the comparative analysis stuff is just like cutthroat, like you wouldn't want to be in that family if that was a parent of yours.
So direct.
Yeah, also like to the point of like cruel, like thinking it's tough love, but it's just cruel.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to put it up. I don't know if that's particularly a skill or ability, but it could be. I mean, in some circumstances, being cutthroat and comparing and maybe even cruel, like not sugarcoating. It feels cruel, but it like cuts to the chase, doesn't it? So you know where you stand. It's clear.
Yeah.
Brutally so, but clear.
It also like doesn't require like a lot of sleep, so it's just got a pretty enormous amount of stamina and like omnipresence, like
okay, that's right. It can just go and go and go. Okay, so stamina, omnipresence. I can feel inquiry in this, right? Like, wow, look at you. You're so incredible. Like, what are you? That's not human to have that kind of strength. but we're doing a different process here, but I'll throw that in a little. Aren't you amazing? That on and on. Such strength, such stick to it. Okay, very good. Anything else? We'll go ask it. I'm sure it'll tell us if you've missed a few here, but it's quite impressive. Even though you don't like this and you've been at the receiving end of it, you can appreciate some abilities here. So I'm going to ask you to go on over there and embody the kick-ass. And I'll go, kick-ass. She's come up with quite the list here about you. Some you may agree with or not, but are there any others that you would add that she's missed? Because you could be quite misunderstood. So any other skills and abilities that you see that maybe aren't so apparent?
I'm immensely invested in the betterment of this world.
Ooh. Yes, please. Okay.
And none of this is out of cruelty. This is out of just raising the bar and knowing that you can step up to it and actually having confidence in you. And actually, it's not even confidence, it's just knowledge.
Ah, yeah. Okay, good. Knowledge of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she's been interpreting as cruel. And you're like just seeing this, you know who she is. Mm-hmm. And that kind of standard and that bar is much higher than maybe she's even doing it for herself.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I've recently felt a lot of loss of patience with you, and I'm just so under thrilled or under awed by just your ways right now that
yeah,
I'm actually a little angry.
Yeah. That's not an ability. I get it that you're angry, and I get it you're pissy, and I get it that maybe that's, you know, because of that impatience that's being felt understandably on her end as cruelty, and you're beating her up. And I'm also getting that you know, there's something very important at stake here. That you care very much about the betterment of the world, and you actually see her as much more capable than maybe she sees herself, and to be able to contribute to the betterment of the world. And my guess is, I mean, we're at shift times here. If we're going to do it, this is the time to do it. People need to wake up and step up. So I'm guessing that's where you come from too. Am I right on that?
There's a lot of goosebumps over here. I don't know whose they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's it. That's a yes. I'm right on that. Ooh, I just got goosebumps. Yeah. Yeah. So passion, right? It's got passion. It's got mission. It's got purpose. Those would be my words, but yeah.
Which ironically is what she feels like she has none of right now.
Huh. Yeah. Okay. But you do. You're okay with those words, so it's okay for me to put them up. Passion and purpose and mission.
Wake up.
Wake up. Excellent. That's what you're all about. So she wasn't fully getting that. So I'm glad we could talk about this and get your point of view. Okay, thank you. If there's any others, let me know. And, you know, we're going to continue to do some things here. So I'll definitely come back and ask you some more things.
I actually have another one.
Oh, please.
Oh, okay.
Go for it.
It just occurred to me that she has this idea that passion, showing your passion, purpose, mission, wake up, has to be something dramatic, and she doesn't want to be in the world in that way. And so I think her playing small has to do with something about that.
Okay. And so if she thinks that, what do you think? Does it have to be, because she's kind of going, I don't want to be dramatic. I don't want to be ba-ma-ma. So what are you saying? It's okay for it to be, I would agree with this myself, but I'm just seeing like quieter about it. Like it doesn't have to be that model that she's rejecting. There's other ways to show passion and purpose and mission and waking up.
Absolutely. And I'm not requiring it to be any certain way. It's just like, there's just nothing coming from her. So it's almost like she's laid down and put her head under a cloth or something.
Okay. Okay. So that might be, I think that's your understandable view about her. So as opposed to what I'm asking for here about skills and abilities. But there may be something in here like about subtlety, right? Like she's saying, I don't want to be dramatic. I don't want to be like them. So, but I think I'm hearing you saying, well, in the betterment of the world and having a mission, purpose, and passion doesn't mean you have to be doing that in the way that whoever else is doing it. She's saying, I don't want to be like that. Does that make sense? So if
yeah, well, I'm not saying, I'm definitely like you're saying, yeah.
So kick-ass, do you think it's, do you say it only has to be dramatic? It's fine if you do, but I'm just, because she's objecting and doesn't want to be. Yeah,
definitely not.
Good. So what's true? If it's not dramatic, what words would you use?
She can do it in any way she wants. In fact, she's drawn to these people who do it in these tiny little weeny, cute, sweet little ways that, like, you know, to the greater world may look like nothing, but to her, they mean the world. And so, like, those people are doing it, and she's watching from the sidelines when what she really wants to be doing is doing that. Her own little crazy little sweet ideas that get people connected and talking and celebrating being alive and pausing.
Beautiful. So teeny cute weenie seeming. That's part of what you're about. Yay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Love it. Yeah. Good. So that goes on. That's part of your skill and ability is in the tiny, in the cute, in the weenie, right? And I put the seeming because as we both know and she appreciates in others, those things all add up, and everybody doing their thing. The teeny cute weenie stuff carries a lot. Yeah. And it doesn't all have to be dramatic to be part of the betterment of the world. Okay. Very good. Thank you very much. I'm going to go talk to her now for a bit. So I invite LB back into being you. Okay. We're getting your, the kick-ass LB added a bunch more stuff, and you may have been able to hear and track this as we're doing it. But out popped out was, you know, I'm doing this all for the betterment of the world. And ability is raising the bar, and it has the ability to know who you are. It's like, I don't just have confidence. I know who she is. And that being a positive, good, valuable thing. And also passion, purpose, mission, waking up, and then this business about tiny, cute, and weenie, right? Because it thinks that you think betterment of the world has to be in very dramatic, extroverted, I'm throwing that word in, kind of ways, right? 3 on the Enneagram performer kind of thing, ways where it's saying, tiny and cute and weenie, thank you, yes please. So anything you would add as you kind of hear that, how does that land for you as that bit comes out from its perspective?
It's actually really comforting. I feel like all of a sudden, like, oh my gosh, there's like some part of me that's actually an ally to that and sees that part in me, sees how much I value that.
Yay.
And I wouldn't have thought it was that
kick-ass. Beautiful. So this is the opportunity, this updated role and purpose potentially here. We'll check with it, but yes, please. How about an ally? There's some common ground there to discover that it too values teeny and cute and weenie. Yeah. So as you get a whiff of that ally energy, what would your proposal be if you were to start a mediation and negotiation? We'll check to see if this kick-ass is interested, but your proposal on the table is like, is there any way we could kind of change the terms here and enter into more of an allyship? And if you were to describe that a little more to it, I'm just going to do a quick save because it looks like it's doing something interesting. Okay. Sorry, I'm fussing with my, I move things around and now can't find a folder that's normally there. Where that, oh yeah, that's where it is. Okay. I'll just write da 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 da. I didn't give my preamble, but just in case something crashes, I'm just gonna save that quick. I think we're good. Okay. Where were we? I was trying to get you to define allyship a little bit more because you're going to propose that to the kick-ass, like, hey, is there a way we could be allies? And as you define ally more, poke around. What does ally mean to you? What are you proposing to it? Hey, could you be kinder? Hey, could you be nicer? Hey, could we work together here?
Yeah, right now I could really benefit just by some like levity, like
Good.
lightening up about like every little tiny picayune detail doesn't have to be like perfect and have some earth-shattering, you know, impact.
So if it doesn't do that, what are you asking for? What are you asking for instead? Levity, what else?
Oh, instead of like the micromanaging, just like some encouragement or some what would it be?
Courage is a good one. Yeah.
Or like instead of like knocking me down, like you've had a lot of opportunities already, something like, hey, this might be an opportunity. Like of all these things, would one of these, you know, just like what you do with a child that's overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
Or when you're training a puppy, like you don't teach 10 things at once. You teach one aspect of the command and then, you know, say that's great. Even though it was just a halfway, it's great. Your nose came toward my hand, you know? So like baby steps here.
Praise. Good.
I've
One
been
aspect at a
overwhelmed.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're coming out of PTSD. There's a lot. You just went through a carjacking, for Pete's sake. Yeah. So baby steps, one aspect at a time, some praise. How about some treats? I'm just thinking when doggies get treats, they get rewards.
How about some what?
Treats.
Yeah, some
reward.
Yeah, like how about you pick up some prepared food so you don't have to figure out what to eat once in a while. You know, just like make it a little easy right now.
Excellent. Easy rewards. And nurturing, I guess, right? With the prepared foods.
Yeah, and like I'm
that's
getting ready to move into a little cottage.
Mm-hmm.
And just like I don't want to have to do everything perfect there, and it's going to be a little refuge with just simple pieces of like, you know, a bed and some yoga blankets and a simple kitchen, and all my stuff can stay at my art studio. So just like, don't ride me to do it any certain way. Let me figure it out. Like, and if you have wonderful ideas, because, you know, you do, like, you are intelligent, you do have good taste, you do watch, you know, good things going on in the world, like, share them, but like, let me have like some space to figure things out without riding me.
Good. What's the opposite of ride?
Support, or
Very good.
like send me some good vibe juju, you know, like, there was a couple I met at Esalen when I was there for a month, and I kid you not, they literally walked around and just vibed love. They literally walked around with this grin, and the two of them just like oozed love at whoever walked within like 10 feet of them. And one day I just said, I know what you're up to. And they just smiled and laughed, and we had such a great time. And it's just like, I want my ally to do that. Just like vibe some love. And help me vibe more love. Help me get out of poor me. Look what happened to me. Like, I am so tired of that story.
Sweet. Yes, please. Okay, very great. A lot of stuff on the proposal table here. So I'm going to go back over to the other side, go talk to Kick-Ass and see how Kick-Ass responds to your stuff on the table. Good job.
I heard you call him Kick-Axe.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of slurred my words there a bit. Yeah.
He sometimes feels like that.
Okay, so embodying, Kick-Axe, and ass. And hey, she came up with some interesting stuff. So there's definitely some movement happening. I think what probably shifted it for her was when you shared about the betterment of the world, and also that your knowledge of her, that you really know who she is, like that was important for her to hear. And also that when you also, like, she appreciated the tiny and the cute and the weenie, that was special. That was important to her. And out of there, she's like, oh my God, there's like some common ground. Like, it feels like I have an ally, which is a huge word. So now we're moving on to the mediation side of things. Should you care to engage in it? She's proposing, hey, would you be interested? We haven't even got into where you came from, and we don't need to, but we'll see what happens. But she's already off and going, could you be an ally? Might there be a way that we can update our agreement, given this has probably been brewing in your lives for a while here, and it's gone way back. And she's saying, could you be an ally? Might we be able to have some levity together? And might you be able to encourage? And she's asking for some baby steps. She's gone through everybody's in trauma in 2020, but she was carjacked and she went through an assault. And she's going through the legal system around it. That's a lot on top of a lot already, right? So she's just asking she's overwhelmed, her nervous system, she's flooded. So she needs some baby steps, and she needs like just one aspect at a time. And she's even offering you a metaphor, because you guys have a dog, right? And you have a long history with animals. She's like, treat me like you would, coming from positive training from the animal perspective, right? Like praise and treats and prepared foods and easy rewards and be nurturing. Keep it simple. And asking you to contribute ideas. She likes your ideas and she likes your taste, but she wants you to give space. Can you give her space to figure things out?
I just let my dog out, just so you know.
I figured something like that was going on.
Yeah.
As we're talking about puppies and training. Yeah.
She's ready. Okay, so I'm embodying Kick-Ass.
You're being Kick-Ass, and I'm coming back to Kick-Ass with the proposal. Yeah, and Kick-Ass is kind of landing because now Kick-Ass like, wow, like, oh yeah, I guess she was in PTSD. I don't know, Kick-Ass, how you respond to that. She's asking for you to break it down into baby steps, be an ally, encourage, kind of like what you do with dog training, right? Like you don't slam it all in there. It's like one step at a time and do it in a supportive way. And she's also reminding about, and maybe you were there, you might have your own opinions about it, that couple at Esalen who were just beaming love. She's like, let's do some of that. That's her proposal.
Oh
Juju.
man, I kind of feel like embarrassed. Like I don't even know why I've been so intense. And as I hear all this, it's like, oh my God, all of that is true. And I'm still like with my clipboard, like hook two. And honestly, I don't even know why that's going on. But I actually, I don't need to do that. I don't want to do that. I probably just don't even know another way because I've been that way for so long.
Yeah, that's why I'm going down in this little section. There's some sort of outdated purpose and role, and your clipboard approach, you know, that's old school. That came from somewhere, and I actually bow to that in you because I appreciate that you probably got through. You helped LB get through a lot of stuff here in her life, and you say it goes way back. Do you have any sense of when did you first emerge? Have you always been there, or did you come in at a certain age, or a certain thing going on in life?
She was babysitting like at the age of 8 and like
Wow.
serious babysitting. So I mean that kid was like taking care of her mom at least when she was really young. So
Uh,
yeah, and I did. I was there for that.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's I'm just going to write down orders of love or a little out of whack, which means that not a little, they're out of whack.
Mm-hmm.
So there's parentification going on. So this young child is stepping up and looking after the parent.
Mm-hmm. In the
And
neighborhood.
and then okay, and not even just that, but the neighborhood. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's sweet that kids do this, but it's actually very grandiose. Not in a, I don't mean that in a mean way, but it's like her sense of bigness, right? Your sense, because I'm talking to you, you got really big and you got kind of a little bossy and very task oriented, very, very mature, very responsible, very get it done. And just really, you forgot about interpersonal relationship, right? Because you're really focused on doing and task. So, and that came out of two really important things. A, you're babysitting at 8, so you're responsible for little kids' lives. And you had a mother that you couldn't count on. In fact, you felt you had to mother her. So I bow to you, Kick-Ass, because you came out in LB's life to support her because of these very important things. And it's amazing what you did, and doing it out of love for her and for the neighborhood and for her mother and for the all those people in that neighborhood or various things that you were involved in. And you might be a little tired, and you're also recognizing as she feeds back to you, you're like, wow, I don't actually need to be this way anymore. It's great that I have been in the past, but there's an opportunity here to change it for both parties.
Well, and I love like the vibing. Like, what if the two of us walked around and just vibed? Like, what would our lives be like? Both
Ooh,
of ours.
cool. That's interesting. I love that you like that. Yay. Yes, please. So you love this vibing. Excellent. How cool is that? So you're responding really well to these proposals, and it sounds like there might be some mediation here that this changing of the role, you're not dumping these things that you do so well. Those still exist, and that's great. But it's more of how you do it. You're doing it with vibing, right? Doing it with the love and the heart, and also just being aware of her and other people. You're going to be surrounded by a lot of people who have trauma going on. So she's got trauma, other people have trauma. So you're aware, you're trauma informed, right? So you're realizing, I need to do this just like I would a puppy. I need to be gentle. I need to be supportive, encouraging, reward, break it down into little things instead of hitting her over the head with the whole checklist. One little small step, then the next one, then the next one. How's that land for you?
Yeah, there's goosebumps here again, and I do recognize that, like, had I not been there, I don't know who she would be today.
Yes.
So I do know that was really valuable.
You saved lives.
Yeah, and I do know that this is wearing her out, and I don't feel like the person that I could be either. I feel like I'm just repeating an old script. So yeah. I would love to do the vibing piece, and watching her train dogs and watching her work with a service dog trainer who's really gentle with her and her dog has given me a lot of information on how to do that in a gentle way.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Good. So you're on board. So sounds like you're ready to engage in a new way of being and figure that out together. And this is giving you all this stuff in blue in the updated role and purpose is giving you some new ways of being. You're still going to use the stuff in purple, but you're just using it with the vibe, right? And coming from a service dog approach, training approach. Now I'm guessing, kick-ass is kind of
I don't want to be
you don't want to be it. So what would you propose about a new name? What would you prefer now that this is the new role?
The first thing that comes to mind is just the vibe guy.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, good. Yay, yes, please. The vibe guy. Is it the high vibe guy?
Yeah, high vibe's nice. Yeah.
There's all sorts of vibes, so we might as well get specific.
High vibe is nice. Thank you.
The high vibe guy. Beautiful. Wow, now I got goosebumps. Yes, please. How cool is this? Oh, that must feel good for you too. So yeah, it's not just such a taskmaster and do, go, push. It's like you can still do that all, but with the high vibes and nice and slow and supportive and atta-girls, right? Encouraging and applauding. Yay. And then as we know, as you're learning with the service dog training, like, wow, the loyalty and the love and the respect that's created between beings. Powerful. Well, I thank you. This has been excellent for me. I love meeting you and negotiating this. I'm going to go back and check with LB and see how this is landing for her. Anything you want to say to her as you said about this new way of being together, and you guys will figure it out step by step. You may need to update and renegotiate some things when you bump into some stuff. And this is alive and ongoing, right? Evolving. But it sounds like it's a good place to start with.
Yeah, I can do this. I just want to say one thing to her. I'm not the guy to help her with coming through this court stuff. It's outside my range.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't want to have anything. I mean, I can high vibe with her in that situation to the best of my ability, but I know it's something that's bigger than me.
Okay, great. That's an interesting piece of information. I will check with her on that. Yeah. Do you have any ideas about who that would be appropriate for, inside or outside?
My sense is I almost don't want to expose her to anything more, and I almost want her to just let go of everything and not get involved.
Interesting. Thank you. Okay, very good.
I don't think she could do it, but
I'm gonna go check with her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go check with her, and that you're really, laying that on the table for her to consider. I appreciate you bringing that up. Okay, I may come back, but if I don't, thank you. It's been a pleasure meeting you, and I'll see you unfold in LB's life. I'll be noticing your high vibes and your support of her, and the step-by-step actions that are happening.
Thank you. This was exquisite.
And now I come back to LB, and hey, you got a yes, and you got a high vibe guy now instead of a kick-ass. Yay. And surprisingly into beaming the love. Wow,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have called that one. That's
That
awesome.
feels so good. So much better. Oh my God, I could just feel like when you were drawing the clipboard, and I can just feel how I've even taken that like clipboard in my hands and tried to be that. And so it's just like, oh, this is such a different flip.
There's one thing around, you probably heard it, around the legal stuff, right? So he's saying no thank you. And even going as far as suggesting you just drop it. Just stop now. No more pushing, no more doing, just let it drop as it may. So how do you respond to that? You're totally welcome to respond however you respond. I'm curious. He doesn't think you're going to be able to do it, but I'm curious.
Oh, wow. I can't imagine right now just putting it all down. There's something in me that just wants to fight and feels like it's part of the good fight. And there's that part that just feels like there is no way I can do this on my own. And or is it a good thing for me energetically to be doing right now? So I feel very mixed. Yeah.
Well, fair enough. To be continued.
Yep. Yep. But I love that I have this partnership to explore that vibing. I mean, I literally was jealous of that couple, like, because they had each other to do that with, but it's like, I can do that with this part of myself.
Obviously masculine, right? So
yeah.
It's a high vibe guy. Yeah. So you have your own Heroes Gamos here to do this with. Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
Well, and remember, you've got him as an ally as you do your other allies, right? So you may consciously remember and be able to interact with a high vibe guy, but he's also there unconsciously continuing to play out with you as your other allies do as well. And, you know, to be continued, you'll see what unfolds with the specifics around the court case and what kinds of actions and stuff you want to take, but it's definitely not a kick-ass approach anymore. Yeah. Okay, I will putter with the map and get it to you as per usual. And anything you want to say to close out?
I just really appreciate that's little one sleeping. She's been listening to this whole thing, and
she's so good. She's so.
Can you find her? Find her.
Oh yeah, she blends in.
Anyway, this has been amazing. I looked at that blank template. I haven't seen that one in a while, honestly. And it was just like, I just saw before me like, oh my God, it's blank right now. And I have no idea, you have no idea where this is going. And who'd have thought that probably two of the most beautiful beings I've ever met would come into this and become a part of my process. So thank you so much.
That's why I love this. You never know what's going to happen. It's so good.
Just masterful, just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
I'll see you and I'll see Tully. Good.
All right.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Yeah.